Welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Haverkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. We are going to finish this two-game set between the 2023 Cubs at the 2023 St. Louis Cardinals. Game one went to Chicago. I believe it was 10 to 2. So the Cubs took game one, and they are poised here in game two. Let's see, go through the starting lineups, and then we'll get this one started. So this is Nico Hoerner leading off for the Cubs, Seiya Suzuki hitting second, Christopher Morel hitting third, Dansby Swanson playing short and hitting cleanup. Ian Happ is in left field. He's the fifth place hitter. Trey Mancini gets the start at first base. Miguel Amaya, the catcher, gets a start at DH. Nick Madrigal is going to play third base. He's hitting ninth, and Tucker Barnhart will be the catcher. He's hitting in the 9 hole. Starting for the Cubs is Marcus Stroman. 21 is his stamina. Good against right-handed batters and better than average against lefties. For the Cardinals, it's going to be Brendan Donovan leading off, playing left field. Paul Goldschmidt hitting second and playing first base. Lars Nootbaar slides up into the third hole. He's in right field. Nolan Arenado is the cleanup man. He's playing third base. Wilson Contreras will be catching. He is hitting fifth. Nolan Gorman gets to start at second base. He's in the 6th hole. Jordan Walker will be the DH. He's hitting 7th. Paul DeYoung at short is hitting 8th. And Tommy Edman, playing center field, will be hitting in the 9th spot. Starting for the Cardinals is Matthew Libertore, and he's got a 13 stamina, so may not last too long in this one as more of a reliever starter type, or opener type. So we'll see how this one goes. This is the last game probably that I'll play between the Cubs and Cardinals, but so far the series is tied at 2 apiece, so after 4 games, each team has won 2 games, and so a bit of a rubber match here between these two teams. So let's get this one started. It'll be Nico Hoerner, Seiya Suzuki, and Christopher Morel against Matthew Libertore. Libertore, left-handed pitcher. Hoerner is going to be a +2 against Libertore. That means he will be a 1 to 12 for control. So this comes off the pitcher card. 691 is going to be a strikeout. So nice job by the Libertore to get the strikeout. Not a huge strikeout guy, just 16.5 Ks per inning for Libertore. Brings up Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki a 1 to 12 for control. So this comes off of the batter's card. 689 against a lefty will be a walk. So runner at first base with 1 out, and Christopher Morel standing in. Morel even Steven with Libertore. So this comes off the batter card. 934 against a lefty will be a double for Christopher Morel. And that's going to be a line drive down the left field line. So cruising into second is going to be Morel. And let's see, Suzuki runs at a -2, and the left fielder is Brendan Donovan. He is a -4, so this is really on Donovan here to have to try to throw out Suzuki. So they're going to send the runner from first base. He is a -1, so he's in this very last column over here. Takes a 31 to 100 to get the man at the plate, and they will not. And the Cubs take a 1-0 lead on the Christopher Morel double as Seiya Suzuki gets a good jump on it. So 1-0, Dansby Swanson stands in. This is off of Swanson's card. A 410 against a lefty will be a strikeout, just into a strikeout range. And that's going to be out number 2. So 2 down for the Cubs in the top of the first. They lead 1-0. Ian Happ coming to the plate, looking to drive in another run. This is going to be off of his card. So a 351 will be a fly ball. And that fly ball goes out to left field. No problem for the left fielder. And since that's a third out, we don't need to check any runner advancement, just that he caught the ball. The Cubs do get 1. And we head to the bottom of the first inning. The Cardinals already down 1-0 to Chicago. Chicago's going to send out Marcus Stroman to the plate, or to the mound. Excellent year last year for Stroman. He'll face off against Donovan Goldschmidt and Nootbaar. Donovan is a +2. Stroman is a -2. So this comes off of Stroman's card. 740 against a lefty is going to be a strikeout. So that's out number 1 as Stroman gets him on the breaking pitch. Brings up Paul Goldschmidt, right-handed batter. He's a +2 against right-handers. And Stroman is a -4, so that makes Goldschmidt a 1-8 for control. This is a 9. This comes off of Stroman's card. 395 will be a line drive. And that liner goes to center field. No problem in center field. For who's in center field? Morrell. As he catches that liner. And that's going to be out number 2. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the first for Marcus Stroman. Lars Nootbaar to the plate. This will come off of Stroman's card. Stroman is a 0-34. Will be a ground ball. And that grounder goes to second base. No problem for the second baseman, who's playing Nico Horner, as he gets it over to first for out number 3. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Marcus Stroman, so we're not going to move his stamina for that 1-2-3 inning. So we head to the top of the second inning, 1-0 Chicago in this one. Trey Mancini, Miguel Amaya, and Nick Madrigal to the plate for the Cubbies. Trey Mancini is a -1 against lefties, so he's just a 1-9 for control. He does get it though. 923 against a left-hander is going to be a double for Trey Mancini. And that will be it's a single that gets misplayed in left field. Turns into a double. The misplay, we're not going to check for an error on that. Well, I guess we can. See if he bobbles it or something. Okay. So he picks it up, gets it in. Leadoff double for Trey Mancini. As the left fielder Donovan, not a great left fielder out there. He misplays that one, and it rolls to the wall. Mancini at second. And it will be Miguel Amaya. He is... excuse me, against a lefty, he's a 0, so they're even up. So an 874 against a righty is a hit. That's off the pitcher card. 172 is going to be a base hit. That base hit goes to left field. It's a ground ball to left field. No error on the play in left. So that's going to push Mancini to third. He is a -1. Hit the left field is it's my choice. The left fielder is Donovan. We're going to run on him. So Mancini is a -1. Donovan is a -4. So that advantage goes to Trey Mancini. So on the bouncer into left field, we're rolling here against this 31-100. 31-100, he'll be out at the plate. Otherwise, he is safe. And Trey Mancini crosses home plate safely. Not a good throw from left field, and that'll be an RBI single for Miguel Amaya. So Cubs up 2-0 in this one, and they have a runner at first base. Nick Madrigal to the plate. This is off the pitcher card. 900 is going to be another hit. A 992 for Madrigal against a lefty is going to be a home run, or at least a home run chance. It will. He hits it down off the fair pole screen on the left field line. So the fair pole screen, it extends from the fair pole to the top of the wall. So that's a liner that Nick Madrigal just gets enough of it to get out. And that's a 3-run or a 2-run homer for Nicky Madrigal. Cubs are now up 4-0 on the Cardinals. Oh, tough break there. Brings up Tucker Barnhart. Barnhart the catcher. This will come off Libertore's card, and this will be a ground ball. It's a ground ball to second base. Second baseman has no problem with it, as Nolan Gorman gets it over to first. That's actually just the first out of the inning. And Libertore not doing so well in this one. He's got his team in a hole, 4-0. Back to the top of the order with Nico Hoerner. Hoerner struck out in his first at-bat. He will get control of this at-bat. 386 against a lefty is a fly ball. This will be a pop-up to the shortstop. And the shortstop, no issues making the catch there. That's Paul DeYoung out there. So that pop-up is caught for out number 2, and it'll bring up Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki walked in his first at-bat. This comes off Libertore's card. 807 is a walk. Second walk of the day issued by the Cardinals starter. Second walk of the day for Seiya Suzuki. And that'll bring up Christopher Morel. Morel with an RBI double in his first at-bat. This is a 9. Morel is even Steven with Libertore. So 672 comes off the batter card. That's going to be a strikeout. Libertore might have gained another inning with that pitch, and the Cubs score 3. In the top of the second, they're up 4-0 early in this one over the Cardinals. Cardinals with an uphill climb here, facing Stroman. It'll be Arenado, Contreras, and Gorman. They definitely have the sticks to do it, but let's see if they can put it together. Arenado a +3 against righties. It means it's a 1-9 for control. So 184 is going to be a ground ball. That grounder goes to the first baseman. No problem at first base for Mancini. He'll toss it to the pitcher who is covering, and that is out number 1. Brings up Wilson Contreras, and Contreras is a +1 as well, so he's a 1-7 for control. This is going to be a 9. So a 132 against a righty is another ground ball. 885 will be a grounder to third base. No problem at third base for Nick Madrigal. Makes a nice strong throw to first, and that's out number 2. Nolan Gorman to the plate, playing second base in this one. This is his first at bat of the day. He's a 1-8 to get control of the at bat, and he does. So this is an 832 against a righty. It'll be a base knock, and that will be a ground ball into the right field, and so that is a single to right for Gorman. Let's see if there's an error on the play. no error as Suzuki is able to corral that one and get it back in. So Gorman standing at first base. He's a 0 to steal. Stroman is a -2. Tucker Barnhart a -1. So we're going to go ahead and try to steal a base here with Nolan Gorman, unless he just doesn't have any. He's got 8 against right-handers. So let's go ahead and be a little bit aggressive here and try to steal bases, steal second. I know that that's not really the MO of... oh, speaking of, I went ahead and I broke out, instead of having the managers at the bottom of the team sheets like this, I broke these out. So right now it's just what's up here and what's up here. That's what's on the stadium sheets. But I broke out all of the managers here by team, by their taking extra bases. Down here, this is the Giants had two managers, so they get lumped in. That's taking extra bases for the whole team, but each manager has their own tendencies. So who are we playing? We're playing the Cubs here for David Ross. So you can see that he steals second at a little higher clip than normal. Everything else is kind of lower, so not as many sacrifices as average, a lot fewer intentional walks. But for St. Louis, we have Oliver Marmol down here, and he steals third at a higher clip, but not second. So that sheet will be included as well. It doesn't mean they don't steal, it just means they steal less than average. So I'm going to go and try to steal second base here. Our guy goes from a 0 to a 3. So we take his stealing rating minus the catcher arm plus the pitcher hold, which in our case, -3 plus -1 is -4, or -2 plus a minus, sorry. The catcher is a -1. The pitcher is a -2 on his hold, so that's -3. Our runner is Nolan Gorman. He steals at a 0, so 0 minus a -3 is 0 plus 3, which means that his run rating is a 3. So let's roll again, just because. And so here, sorry, wrong side. Here's our stealing. So he's going to be in this column here. You can see he went from 0 to the next column. So definitely worth trying. 689 is here in the meaty middle. And Nolan Gorman steals second base. So just in under the tag brings up Jordan Walker. He's the DH, and he's got 2 outs with a runner in scoring position. 16 is going to be going to Marcus Stroman's card. That'll be a ground ball. That grounder is to third base. The third baseman, no problem grabbing that one. Let's see what happens on the play. We have a runner at second base and a ground ball to third. It's a 756. It's here. Runner at third base. That'll be a 5-3 put out, and we'll end the inning. So long throw across the diamond for Nick Madrigal, but he makes it. And no 1-2-3 inning there for Stroman, but he does get out of the inning, giving up no runs. It's 4-0 as we head to the top of the third. And it'll be Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, and Trey Mancini. We have a 6 on our D20 roll. That'll go to Dansby Swanson. A 113 is a grounder. That grounder goes to second base, and no problem at second base for Nolan Gorman, who makes a good throw to first, and that's out number 1. Ian Happ to the plate. He's batting right-handed. He is 0 for 1. He flew out in his first at-bat. 5 is going to come off of his card. So 318 against a lefty will be another fly ball. This time the fly ball is to left field again, and 210 will be a good catch out in left by the left fielder, Brendan Donovan. So 2 down in the inning, and that'll bring up Trey Mancini. Mancini with a double and a run scored in his last at bat. Let's just roll off of Mancini's card here. A 924 against a lefty will be a double. So another double for Trey Mancini. A 17 is a ground ball down the right field line. No error on the play. And so Mancini standing up at second with a second double. Braves have one in scoring position. It's Miguel Amaya to the plate. 869, trying to get through this inning with this dead-gum pitcher, and he just is not cooperating. There's a base hit. Line drive down the right field line as Amaya shoots one the other way. Mancini's a -1, and that's going to be a score on the single, and that's another RBI. 5-1 or 5-0 is our score. It's Nicky Madrigal to the plate. We're gonna have a mound visit just to give this guy a chance to control the at bat. Madrigal with a 2-run homer in his first at bat. He was magical, as you might say. 088 is going to be a ground ball, and that grounder goes to the shortstop. Dansby Swanson is there. Let's see what happens on the play. So Swanson makes the play. We do have a runner at second base, so we're looking in this column. 752. That's just a regular old 6-3 put out, and that's going to end the inning. So Libertore gets through the inning. He does give up another run, and the Cubs lead this one 5-0, and that's going to be the end of the day for that guy. He at least scratched out 3 innings for the Cardinals, but kind of at a high cost. 5-0 Cubs as we head to the bottom of the third. It'll be DeYoung, Edman, and then back to the top with Brandon Donovan. DeYoung is a 1-5 for control. 972. This is off Stroman's card, so that's going to be a hit of some sort. 290 will be a base hit. And that's a line drive into right center field. It's the right fielder that picks it up, and Suzuki fields it cleanly. DeYoung runs at a 0. Suzuki is also a 0, so this is just going to be on the runner to try to force the issue there, and we'll just keep him at first base. On taking extra bases, the Cubs are you can see here the Cubs, David Ross, they're normal going first to third, aggressive second to home. Yeah, I don't know, somewhere in the middle. They don't seem to be aggressive on the front end, and so we're gonna just leave them there for now. Paul DeYoung at first base. Brings up Tommy Edman. This is Edman's first at bat. He's going to be a 1-7 for control. So he does have control of the at bat. 155 off his card is a ground ball that goes to the third baseman. Third baseman is Madrigal. He's got it. And we'll see what happens on the play as Madrigal makes the play at third. Got a runner at first. A 404, and it's going to be a 5-4, and then we need to roll off of Madrigal's double play number. So we're going to go 5-4 here. on the fielder's choice. Madrigal is a 0 on his double play rating. It's a 984, and that's going to be in the red, so that's a fielder's choice. They're not able to turn 2. So Tommy Edman on at first. As the Cubs can't complete the double play, that'll bring up Brendan Donovan, the left fielder. He struck out in his first at-bat against Stroman. This is off Stroman's card. A 323 against a lefty will be a ground ball. And 377. That's a grounder to second base. Good play. So we got the catch. We got a man at first base again. 1 out. And this is hit to the second baseman, Horner. 554 is here. That's a 4-6-3 double play as they roll it up this time. No need to check for the double play. And so that will get the Cubs out of the inning. This is out number 2. And across to first base, that's out number 3. And down go the Cardinals in the third. We leave that there for the double play. You actually get a +1 on a double play for a pitcher. It's kind of a psychological boost. Let's go and get a new pitcher in for the Cardinals. All right, a new pitcher for the Cardinals is going to be Andrew Suarez. He's also a lefty. Not a great pitcher, but he's got some stamina, so maybe he'll eat some innings here. Marmol's throwing in the red flag here, or throwing in the white flag. He'll face off against the bottom of the order, though, Barnhart, and then back to the top of the order with Horner and Suzuki. He replaces Matthew Libertore. Goes 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, and 3 Ks. And might just be one of those days. Although he could come in and shine. Who knows? Barnhart doesn't really play against lefties, so we're going to go with Suarez's card on this one. He is... Barnhart's going to be a 1-13 for control, so this comes out the pitcher card. 671 against a lefty is a walk. Nico Horner to the plates. Horner against lefties is a +2. Suarez is a +2. So 1-14 goes to Horner. A 526 against a lefty is going to be a line drive. That goes to 0-34. That's a liner to third base. 278. So making the catch at third base is Nolan Arenado. So we'll go L5. We need to check and see if there's a double play. So we have our chart here. We got a runner at first. And it's to third base. So we're here. It's a 905. 905 is in the red. There's no double play. As the runner gets back to first. So L5 on the put out. That's going to be out number 1 with the line drive. And Horner hits it hard, but he hits it right at the best third baseman in the league. It's going to bring up Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki, he doesn't have an official at bat. He's got 2 plate appearances and 2 walks. Against a lefty, he's a +2. Suarez is a +2. So this is a 1-14 for control. So this comes off the pitcher card. 132 against a righty is a ground ball. 182 is a ground ball to second base. And the second baseman will make the play. Let's see if Gorman can help turn 2. There's a runner at first. It's a 652. It's here. That's going to be a 463 DP. So Gorman to the shortstop DeYoung, over to Goldschmidt, and that will be an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. Nice job by Suarez to get out of that. And that will be the end of the 4th inning for the Cubs. For the 1st inning, they do not score. We're going to leave that there because that's a double play. So Suarez induces the double play, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. Goldschmidt, Nootbaar, and Arenado will face off against Marcus Stroman. This comes off the batter card. 7-11 against a righty is a walk. So first walk of the day issued for Marcus Stroman comes in the 4th inning. And that puts Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Goldschmidt just a 0 runner or stealer. Let's see. He steals a fair amount of bases against right-handed pitching, so we can try that. Again, the battery is a -3, so anything the base runner has, we add 3. So he's going to be a 1 to 3. That's going to be his section here. So as long as it's not a really high number, which it is, 926. Oh, and he just slides in there safely under the tag as he steals second base and gets himself in scoring position. So a runner on second base with nobody out, and Lars Nootbaar stands in. Nootbaar is 0 for 1. He grounded out in his first at bat. He will be he's actually a +1, so 1 to 11 is for Nootbaar. 251 against a righty will be a fly ball. That fly ball is a pop-up to shortstop. No problem for Dansby Swanson as he squeezes it for the out in short left field. Lars Nootbaar is down for the first out of the inning. Runner still at second base, 1 out now for Nolan Arenado. Arenado bounced out to the first baseman in his first at-bat. He's got a 1 to 9 opportunity to control the at-bat. He doesn't. And so this is a 106. 106 against a righty will be a ground ball. That's hit to third base. The third baseman is Madrigal. He'll make the catch. And let's see what the play is. We got a runner at second base. 279 with a runner at second base. That's a 5-3 put out. No runner advancement. So he looks the runner back to third. Makes a strong throw to first. And Stroman all of a sudden is 1 out away from getting out of this 4th inning, having given up no runs. He's pitching well so far. I wouldn't say that he's completely efficient, but he's been pitching well. 18 is going to come off of the pitcher card. 117 against a righty is going to be another ground ball. This is rolled to the first baseman, who makes the catch, Mancini. And with the runner at second base, we have an 867. Runner at second base is here. That's a 3-1 put out, so he's going to toss it to the pitcher Stroman, who beats the runner by a couple of steps. So that will be a 3-1 put out. Cubs strand the runner at second base, Goldschmidt. And we head to the top of the 5th inning. Still 5-0 Cubs over the Cardinals. It's going to be Christopher Morel, Dansby Swanson, and Ian Happ for the Cubs. This comes off the pitcher card. 967 will be a hit. A 290 is a base hit. That's a line drive down the right field line. No error on the play. And the right fielder is Lars Nootbaar. He's a -1. And Morel is a +2 in his running. So he's going to try to take an extra base there. That's going to be the onus is on the outfielder to throw him out. So the outfielder is Newtbar. He's got a +1 rating on his arm. So he is a 211 to 360. Christopher Morel pushing the envelope here. 936 is going to be in safely as he stretches that single into a double. Hustling right out of the box, and that's going to be a runner at second base with nobody out. Brings up Dansby Swanson. Swanson standing in from the right side. He's 0 for 2. He's got a strikeout and a ground out. Against a lefty, he's a 0. Suarez is a +2, so 1 to 12 for control. This comes out the pitcher card. This will be a ground ball, and that goes to the first baseman. First baseman Mancini makes the play. More than likely, this is going to move the runner over to third, with the runner at second base. Most of the results will be that. 0-61, that's a 3-1 put out with the runner advance. So Morel goes to third. We say 3-1 here. Swanson comes back to the dugout. Everybody gives him high fives as he does his job, moving the runner over to third base. And it's going to be Ian Happ to the plate. Happ with a couple of flyouts. Flyout here might score a run if he can replicate that. He is batting right-handed, so he's a 1 to 12 for control. This comes out the pitcher card. 213 against a righty is a ground ball. That goes to the first baseman. Mancini is going to make the play at first. And this time we have a runner at third, so this column here. 173, runner at third base. It's a 3-1 put out, and the run scores from third if it's less than 2 outs. There are less than 2 outs, so a second straight ground ball to first base. This time Ian Happ drives in the run. That's now 6-0 Cubs. And Happ with the RBI. 2 down now for Trey Mancini. He's got 2 doubles in the game. Andrew Suarez trying to break the double spell. He is a -1 against lefties. So 1 to 11. This actually comes off of Mancini's card. 355 is not going to be a double. It's going to be a line drive. That goes to left field. No problem in left, as the left fielder Donovan comes in and makes a nice running catch for the third out of the inning. The Cubs do put up one more in the 5th, and they lead 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. For the Cardinals, it's going to be Gorman, Walker, and DeYoung against Marcus Stroman. Stroman's still going strong so far. This comes off his card. It's a 653 against a lefty, will be a strikeout. Just a second strikeout of the day for Marcus Stroman. His strikeout rate against lefties is less than 20%, so not a little surprising that he got it there against the lefty, but not so surprising that he's not striking people out. He's only got a K rate of about 21 or 2%. He gets a lot of contact, though. A lot of ground balls, 60% ground ball percentage against lefties, so always inducing grounders in this one. You can see a lot of ground balls already. Jordan Walker to the plate. He is a right-handed batter. He's one of those ground outs in his first at-bat, and he will have a 1 to 7 chance for control. 150 is going to be, surprise, surprise, a grounder. 896 would be a ground ball to third base. It's handled by Madrigal, who makes another good throw to first, and that's going to be out number 2. Brings up Paul DeYoung. DeYoung a single in his first at bat. This will be, he's a 1 to 5 for control, so it's out the pitcher. 793 against a righty will be a hit, just into the hit range. 252 is going to be a single. So 2 singles on the day for the shortstop. That's a ground ball into right field. No error on Suzuki. And the Cardinals have 1 on with 2 out, and Tommy Edman coming to the plate. Edmund against a righty is a +1, so he's a 1-7 for control. This will come off the batter card. That's a ground ball that goes to second base. The catch is made by the second baseman. And let's see what happens after Horner gets it in his hands. 8-19 with a runner at first is here. 4-3, so 2 outs. It'll be a 4-3 put out. When there's 2 outs, you use the play that's in parentheses. So that's the end of the inning, and we head to the top of the 6th. Cubs leading this one 6-0 over the Cardinals. Andrew Suarez, let's see if we can squeeze out one more inning from him, as he'll face the bottom of the order: Miguel Amaya, Nick Madrigal, and Tucker Barnhart. Amaya is 2 for 2. He's got 2 RBIs as well and a run scored. So no easy out today. He's a 1-13 for control. 662 against a lefty is going to be a walk. So he adds a walk to his resume today. And that'll bring up Nick Madrigal. Madrigal with a 2-run homer in his first at-bat. Grounded out to short his last time up. This will be a ground ball. And that goes to the first baseman. No problem there. For Goldschmidt as he makes the catch. Let's see what happens on the play. Got a runner at first base. And nobody out. 184. 184. Runner at first base. That's a 3-1 fielder's choice. So the only play is to first. And the runner is going to advance to second. So he advances on the fielder's choice. We say 3-1 on the putout. And that'll bring up Tucker Barnhart. Barnhart is 0 for 1. He walked in his last at bat. I don't know why I'm messing with this one. This is the one. Madrigal at first. He steals at a +1. The battery for St. Louis is a 2. So that's a 1 - 2 is a -1. So we're not going to steal there, especially when you don't have to. Tucker Barnhart against a lefty. He did not face any lefties, so this comes off Suarez's card. .154 is going to be a ground ball. That goes to short. Dansby Swanson has it. And let's see what happens here. 9-12. Runner at first base, 6'4". We check the DP rating of the shortstop. So we know we're going to get the oh, I'm sorry, it was at second base. 9-12 here. All right, 6-3 on the putout, and the runner does not advance. That is the play. Okay, so good pick there by Dansby Swanson. He looks the runner back at second. Amaya does not move forward. So we have a runner at second base, and Nico Horner coming to the plate. Horner 0 for 3, but this is going to change here. 942 against a lefty is going to be a two-bagger. As Nick Madrigal with a line drive down the right field line. No error on the play in right field, so that's going to be a double. And an RBI for Nico Hoerner. The right fielder is a -1. Hoerner runs at a 5. So I tell you, he's going to try for 3. He's going to try to take an extra base here to get to third base. Hoerner is super fast. It's going to be on the outfield arm of Lars Nootbaar. 211 to 360. He'll be out at third, and he is going to slide in safely with a triple as Nico Hoerner turns on the Jets. And he's got an RBI triple into the right field corner. And that is another run for the Cubs. They now lead 7-0. And Seiya Suzuki comes to the plate. 628 for Suzuki is a walk. So we're going to do a mound visit here. That'll give Suarez at least a chance to win this at bat and control it. Christopher Morel to the plate. Morel is 2 for 3, couple doubles, run scored, and an RBI. This comes off of Suarez's card. A 646 against a righty is a strikeout. So that's going to end the inning as Suarez gets out of that one, having given up only 1 run. And we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to nothing. That'll be the end of the line for Andrew Suarez, by the way. But we did squeeze out 3 innings from him, which was really what I was looking to do. Okay, Marcus Stroman goes out for the bottom of the 6th. He's up 7-0. He'll face off against the top of the order, Donovan, Goldschmidt, and Nootbaar. Donovan is a lefty. That means that he's even Steven with Marcus Stroman. So 432 against a righty is going to be a line drive. That goes to center field. No problem in center field for Christopher Morel, who makes a nice running catch on that liner. That'll be out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th. Rubber match of the series. This is game number 5. Both teams have won 2 games so far. Paul Goldschmidt comes up. He is 0 for 1. And he is a 1-8 for control. So this comes off his card. 923 could be good things, as that's going to be a base knock against a righty. 15 will be a ground ball into right field. Possible error on Suzuki. He's a right fielder. He's a -1. -1 is an error on a 33 to 83. So this is going to be an error on Seiya Suzuki, who can't handle that ground ball into right field. So this will be a single, and he'll take second base on the E9. Ooh, that's tough. So Goldschmidt finds himself at second base again with 1 out. And the Cardinals have not been able to drive him in. Let's see if Nootbaar can change that narrative here. This comes off Stroman's card. 863 will be a walk. Going to do a mound visit. That gives him 1 back. All right, runners at first and second base with 1 out. We got a ground ball pitcher on the mound, and we got Nolan Arenado. He's already hit into 2 ground balls. This is a 228 against a righty, is another grounder. 655, that grounder goes to the shortstop, Swanson, who will make the play. And Swanson with runners at first and second. It's a 120. Runners at first and second. The only play is going to be to first, so it's a 6-3 fielder's choice. Both runners advance. And the plot thickens as we'll have runners at second and third with 2 outs. Wilson Contreras to the plate. He could change the narrative of this game very quickly. It's 7-0. Contreras with a lot of pop, but we'll see what happens here. He's a 1-7 for control. So it comes off his card. 153 against a righty as a ground ball. And that grounder goes to first base. First baseman is Mancini. He'll make the catch, and let's see what happens on the play. We got runners at second and third, 5-29. Runners at second and third, it's this last one. 3-1 on the putout. So Mancini tosses to Stroman. And that's going to be the third out of the inning. So Cardinals strand 2 in scoring position in the 6th, and that is going to be the end of the line for Marcus Stroman today. No need to push him farther than we need to. He's already 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. He's already a little bit past his average. So this is about, you might bring him out for one more inning, but we don't need to. 7-0. It's pitching well. And we are going to replace the Cardinals pitcher, Suarez. So let's get a new pitcher in the game for the Cardinals. All right, new pitcher for the Cardinals is going to be Andre Palante, I think is how you say his name, Palante. Right-handed pitcher. He will face off against Swanson, Happ, and Mancini. He's replacing Andrew Suarez. Just not familiar with the mop-up relievers for St. Louis. 3 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout for Palante, who pitched better than the guy that he replaced. So let's see, or for Suarez, let's see if Palante can continue that trend for the Cardinals. It's 7-0 Cubs in this one. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Dansby Swanson stands in. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of ground outs. He's facing a right-handed pitcher. He's going to be a 1-12 for control. And so this goes off Swanson. 270 will be a fly ball. And that goes to center field. No problem in center field. For, who's the center fielder? Edman. Haven't called his name very much today. That'll be 1 down in the inning. Ian Happ to the plate. He's batting left-handed for the first time in this game. He'll be a 1-13 for control. Saw the pitcher card. 671 against a lefty is a strikeout. So nice job so far from Palante, who's got 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th. Brings up Trey Mancini, right-handed batter. This will come off the pitcher card. 789 against a righty is a walk. Walks have been killer. That's the 6th walk of the day for the Cardinals. It's always going to hurt you putting runners on free. This comes off the pitcher card. 845. 845 against a righty is a hit. And it's going to be a single. That base hit is a line drive down the left field line. First to third. Let's say Mancini is a -1. Down the left field line, that's a no-go. So he's going to wind up at second base. And we have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Nicky Madrigal to the plate. Madrigal 1 for 3 at a 2-run homer back in the 2nd. He is going to get control of the at-bat here. 822 against a righty is another base hit. This one is a blooper into right center field. It's picked up by the right fielder. So we have a single there. For Mancini. That's going to be a yes on the score. For Amaya, that would be our choice. We'll just leave him there. So that's going to be a 1 RBI single for Nick Madrigal. Brings up Tucker Barnhart. 759 to a lefty is another walk. So that'll load the bases. And it brings up Nico Horner. That's a 2. 422 to Nico Horner is going to be a fly ball. Excuse me. 507, that'll be a fly ball to right field, and the right fielder is there to make the catch. That's out number 3 as we're going to give him a +1 there. I don't know if he'll need it. Don't think he's going to come out for another inning. The Cubs get one more as they continue to bleed the Cardinals dry within these 1-run innings, and it's now 8-0 Chicago. That's, you know, if you get 1 run an inning, you're going to be scoring 9 runs a game. So you can do it. Let's go ahead and get a new pitcher for the Cubs. Marcus Stroman finishes up his 6 innings for the day. Let's get somebody in for Chicago. All right, new pitcher for the Cubs is going to be Hayden Wesneski. Wesneski is a stamina of 11. Not great against lefties, but pretty good against right-handed batters. He'll be facing off against Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker, and then Paul DeJong. We start the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 8-0 Chicago over St. Louis. St. Louis still has a little bit of time left, but are running out of sand quickly. So against a righty, Nolan Gorman is a 0. This comes off the pitcher card. A 16 will be a ground ball. And that grounder goes to third base. No issues there for Nick Madrigal, who's been true all day, playing a good third base. And that's out number 1. Jordan Walker to the plate. Walker is 0 for 2, speaking of grounding out to third. That's all he's done today. This will be another ground out, and that will be to third base, and the play is made. So 5-3. Third time today that Jordan Walker has pulled the ball down to the third baseman. Gives a little chuckle at that. It's Paul DeJong to the plate. DeJong is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. They're going to finally get him out. 286 is going to be a fly ball. And that fly ball goes out to center field. No problem in center field for Christopher Morel. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Wesneski. So we'll leave his stamina there for that 1-2-3 inning. That takes us to the top of the 8th inning. It is 8-0 Chicago over St. Louis. Let's get a new pitcher in for the Cards. All right, new pitcher for St. Louis is going to be Jordan Hicks, right-handed pitcher. He'll face off against Suzuki, Morel, and Swanson. So heart of the order for the Cubs. He replaces Palante, who goes 1 inning, gives up 2 hits and 1 run, 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Stamina of 5 for Jordan Hicks. Seiya Suzuki stands in. He is a +1 against righties. So Hicks is a -2, so does pretty well against right-handers. He actually had an excellent season. He is about a 3.15, 3.20 ERA, something like that. And so we are at an 11. 11 is off the pitcher card, so 783 against a righty will be a walk. So walks abound today for the Cardinals. It's like the St. Louis theme. Brings up Christopher Morel. Morel is 2 for 4. He's got a couple doubles, a couple strikeouts. So feast or famine for the young center fielder. He is going to get control of the at bat, but it's going to be a ground ball. That goes to second base. Second baseman has it. And with a runner at first, let's see what happens. It's a 414. 414 is here. A 4-6 double play chance. So we're looking at Nolan Gorman's double play rating. He's a -2. So we're going to get the out here for out number 1. And we're looking at Gorman's double play rating of a -1. Did I say 1 or 2? -2. So he's in this very last column. Anything 31 to 210 is a double play. It's not a double play. So we'll say that's a fielder's choice, 4 to 6. And beating it out at first is Christopher Morel. So Morel at first base with 1 out. And Dansby Swanson to the plate. One thing about Jordan Hicks, he has a 63% ground ball percentage against right-handers. So if he gets control of the at-bat, odds are really good he's going to throw a ground ball. He does get control of this at-bat, and so that's going to be a 632. Against a righty is a strikeout. He also has a very high strikeout rate against righties, 33%. Anything over 30% is going to earn you a lot of money out there. So it's going to be Ian Happ to the plate. He's batting left-handed. He's going to be a 1 to 13 for controls. This is off Happ's card. 536 against a righty is a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Jordan Hicks as he ends the inning in style and strands a runner at first base. So Chicago doesn't score. That's only the second inning of the game that they have not scored. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is still 8-0 Chicago over St. Louis. Wisniewski's going to stay in the game. He'll face off against Tommy Edman, Brendan Donovan, and Paul Goldschmidt. Edman batting left-handed as a switch hitter. He is going to be a 1 to 13 for control, so he doesn't get that. 372 off of Wisniewski is a fly ball, and that fly ball goes to center field. No problem out in center field for Morel as he squeezes it for out number 1. So 1 down in the bottom of the 8th inning, 8-0 Cubs. St. Louis running out of outs here. It's going 1 to 14 for control for Donovan. 412 against a righty will be a line drive. So that liner goes to left field, and the left fielder is Happ. He's going to make the catch in left. That'll be out number 2. Brings up Goldie. Goldie is 1 for 2. He's got a single and a walk. He also has a stolen base, for what it's worth. He gets control of the at-bat. It's a 108, which would be a ground ball. And that grounder goes to shortstop. And the shortstop, Swanson, will make the catch. And it's a good throw to first to get Goldschmidt by a couple of steps. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Cubs, for the Cardinals, however you want to look at it. But the Cardinals go down 1-2-3 in the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Still 8-0 our score. And I think we'll leave Jordan Hicks in there. Let's see if he can get through this inning. He's facing off against Trey Mancini. This will be off Hicks's card. 582 against a righty is a strikeout. So 3 Ks in a row for Jordan Hicks. And he's got it working so far. Brings up Miguel Amaya. Amaya to the plates. Is 3 for 3. He's got 3 singles, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and a walk for good measure. He's a 1-7 for control. So this is off the pitcher. 7-12 against a righty is going to be a strikeout. Man, he's got a big strikeout range. So 4 Ks in a row for Jordan Hicks. And he's taking care of the middle and bottom of the order here for the Cubs. Which is a good thing. Cubs up 8-0. Everybody's just trying to get through this game. And people are heading for the exits after that 8th inning. Nicky Madrigal to the plates. He is 2 for 4. He has a home run and an RBI. He's got a home run and a single. He's got 3 RBIs on the day. He will be a 1-9 for controls. This is off his card. 279 is a ground ball. That grounder goes to second base, and the second baseman has it with no problems as Gorman gets it over to Goldschmidt. That's a 3 of 3 down inning for Jordan Hicks. So Hicks comes in and does his job. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's leave Wisniewski out there and see if he can just close this one out with 3 innings. He'll face off against Nootbaar, Arenado, and Contreras. Nootbaar, a left-hander, so he's a 1-15 for control. This could be trouble. 979 against a righty is going to be a home run as he gets a hold of it, and that will be a fly ball down the line in right field. Gone if it's fair, and it is gone as Nootbaar turns on one, cranks it down the right field line, and breaks up the shutout. So 8-1 now our score, bottom of the 9th inning. Brings up Nolan Arenado. Arenado will not have control of this at bat. 725 against a righty is going to be a strikeout for Wisniewski. So that ends Arenado's day with no hits as he goes 0 for 4. Brings up Wilson Contreras, the catcher. 505 is going to be a line drive against a righty. 238, that's a liner to left field. The left fielder is Happ, and no problem out there as he ranges back just a little bit to grab that one out of the air. Last hope for the Cardinals today, Nolan Gorman. Gorman is 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 at bats. He will be a 1-12 for control. This comes off the pitcher card, so 145 will be a ground ball. That grounder goes to the third baseman, and why not? Nico Horner grabs it, throws to first, and he had a big defensive day. The Cardinals disturb the shutout, so they keep themselves from being shut out on the Lars Nootbaar home run. But they're going to lose this one 8-1 on a getaway day, June 25th, 2023. So Chicago takes this series 5 games. They won 3 games out of the 5. And we're going to put these 2 teams away. We'll come out with a couple of other teams. Don't know exactly who it'll be, but I will choose them and see what happens with more testing later on. So this is Precision Baseball. If you want to get this game, you can actually play it. You can either email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com and I'll send you the files, or you can join the Facebook group if you're on Facebook. So go to groups, search for Clark and Addison Gaming Company, and then join the Facebook group. It's a private group, but you just have to answer a few sort of simple questions and agree to the group rules. It's not anything very extensive, just to get a sense of who's joining and what kind of games you like to play and what sports you like to play. And then once you're in the group, you can go to the files section and you can download the files, the most recent test files that I have. I'm still putting together all of these new things that I've created. So I've just put in the files for the manager. That's also in the file section. The ballpark file is in the file section. And then eventually I will put them all into a zip file that you can just download, and it'll have some of the new things. I have not touched the cards since the latest version of the testing demos, so you won't have to reprint any cards or anything like that. The only thing that's really changed is going to be this stamina tracker. I'm working on the what do we have? So each team has their sort of style. Are they aggressive, cautious, or normal with their base running? So going first to third, second to home. I might need to put also just like a general aggression level for the team, like when taking extra bases in general. And so I have those numbers too, so maybe I'll do a third column there. We got plenty of space here. So taking extra bases, you'll be able to just kind of get a flavor. Are they aggressive at taking bases? Are they cautious? And it just kind of gives you a sense of should you be taking extra bases or no. And these two here actually have a corresponding first to third on singles. We have a corresponding chart. Now these two are going to be broken out. They're going to be side by side like this, but now they're put in aggressive, normal, and cautious. So it'll be a whole sheet like this, and you'll have these two but 3 times, and you just match up whatever the aggression level is for that particular manager. And if you want to get to that level of detail, you can, or you can just use the normal chart and roll off of the normal, whatever, if you just want to make it simple for yourself. And basically I'm going to make it more like this, where it's going to be where the runner has to go. It's the gamer's choice, or it's a no-go. So that's what I'm sort of changing the runners from first to third. There's going to be a little bit more your choice. It's just going to be clearer, like what this is. Saying yes or no, maybe that's not very clear. And so I'm just trying to think about like what will make this more clear. So it's going to look a little bit more like the runner advancement sheets here for the fly balls and the line drives, just to provide some consistency to the game. So that's going to be worked out very soon. I've got all 3 levels done. I just need to go through and just kind of work out the color scheme and just put them together. That'll probably be done today, actually. So that's coming soon, and that'll basically get rid of this sheet, or transform this sheet to just be runner advancement on singles to the outfield. So that's what you'll see up here, and that will be what that is. And then you can use the aggression levels on the base paths to determine would they normally try to score a runner from third, first to home. Maybe we can do that one as well. So just trying to put as many details in there as possible to make it very accessible, though, about, is this something that it would help with the game flow. It'd help when you're making decisions about the game, especially when you're playing solo. So that's what this game is all about. And concerned sometimes that there are too many charts, but some of these charts you can totally jettison. You don't have to play with the highlight plays. You will need to play. Well, I'll provide a generic. I'll provide a generic hit direction, and maybe I'll just provide a generic hit direction and runner advancement chart. You don't have to play with the managers. That's totally optional. It just gives you a little bit more data and information to use when you're playing solo, especially like how would I play this? How did the manager play this team? And kind of what things should I be trying to do or trying not to do. You have a sheet here, and these are all just, some of these you're not going to use very much, like these two. You don't use very much. This isn't used as much. And then, unless you're stealing third and stealing home, you don't use that too much either. I'm really considering, and I've had this in my mind since I began this game because I saw it in the spreadsheet that I was trying to work it out, is narrative-based fielding. Basically, you would take this, and you would take the errors, and you would take the hit directions here, and maybe the runner advancement. All of those would kind of be combined into a huge APBA style narrative-based fielding charts. So on ground balls, fly balls, line drives, on every type of play, actually, all of these different types of plays, you would have big charts like this. So you would have huge charts to flip through, and basically it would be as simple as, okay, I roll off here, and then I roll off of my chart based off of whatever type of play it was. So this chart would provide all of the information. So it would include all of the highlight plays, but it would also include a bunch of like just normal, regular old plays. Maybe that would be fun. I have no idea. It would be simple, just like APBA is simple. You kind of get the number, you roll, you see where the number goes. The whole play is played out for you right there. So that would be one way that you'd be able to play as well. But I wouldn't totally get rid of the fielding system as it is. You could just play that way if you wanted to. So that's something that's been in my mind. Let me know in the comments if that's something that would be of interest to you. Maybe there are some games where you just want to kind of get through it quickly, or you want to feel a little bit more of the color commentary of the game, that kind of thing, instead of doing it all yourself. Or you just want to be able to have a chance to do the highlight plays all the time. So having a chart like that would get you into the highlight plays all the time. So the highlights would be right next to all of the normal. It's a two hopper to third. The guy makes a throw at first. That's an out. So, yeah. And then what that would also do, it would eliminate this sheet as well. So basically you would transform this sheet on the ground balls into narrative plays. So, ground ball hit to shortstop. He makes a short throw to second for the fielder's choice. If there's two outs, and that's it, right? So basically it would transform this entire sheet into a narrative form instead of having it the way it is. So you would eliminate several of the charts. We would just kind of combine them. But basically my charts have broken apart every single part of like the APBA experience. And instead of giving you one big narration, it's broken each part down into a chart. And so there's lots of roles here. And each of those roles has like a lot of variability and stuff like that, which is really cool. But it does make it a little bit laborious to get through. But would it be too laborious on every single play to have to do a big chart lookup? I'm not sure. You'd probably have to break up the charts into runner at first, runner at second, just like APBA does. But that would kind of really transform the game. So that's something I've had in my mind the whole time. And we'll see if that's something that comes to be. It could be an addendum after the game comes out. It doesn't have to be now. Because basically I would take all the stuff that I have, put it into a narrative-based format, and then you would have that, and you could print out the charts and put them into like a binder or something like that, and tab them so that you can easily get to them. It's just very similar concept to what APBA does. I would even be able to provide those as an optional purchase, where you could purchase the booklet that's spiral bound, and you'd be able to get to everything. So that's definitely a consideration for the game, and would include a lot, because we have 1,000 rolls. You would have 1,000 plays with a runner on first. You'd have 1,000 plays with a runner on second and a ground ball, right? I mean, that's a lot. runner on first with a fly ball. There's so many things that could happen in that scenario, and you would have 1,000 plays to do it. So definitely a consideration that I'm doing. So let me know what you think about that as a gameplay opportunity. Let me take a break for a second, and I'll total up all these finals, and we'll come back and finish this game off. All right, and we're back with the totals in this one. So let's finish up this game between the Cubs and the Cardinals from June 25th, 2023. The Cubs win 8-1. Cubs with 8 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. For St. Louis, it's 1 run on 4 hits and 0 errors. The win goes to Marcus Stroman, who goes 6 innings, gives up just 3 hits and no runs, 2 walks and 2 Ks. And the loss goes to Matthew Libertore, who goes 3 innings, gives up 5 runs. Wisniewski comes in and pitches very well. 3 innings, 1 hit. It was the solo home run to Lars Nootbaar that ruined the shutout in the bottom of the 9th inning. Otherwise, Cubs were spectacular on the pitching side. The pitching got better as the game went on for St. Louis. Jordan Hicks, 2 innings, 4 Ks, only 1 walk. And he struck out 4 of the 7 batters that he faced. He was quite impressive coming in late in the game. Hitting stars, let's see, 4 walks for Seiya Suzuki, which is awesome. And he threw in a double play for good measure. 2 for 4 for Christopher Morel. He had an RBI. And Trey Mancini, 2 for 4. Also with a couple of doubles. And then Miguel Amaya, the backup catcher, 3 for 4 with a walk, 2 RBIs, and really fighting for player of the game with Nick Madrigal. Madrigal was 2. He was Madrigal. He was 2 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBIs for Chicago. RBI triple for Nico Horner, thrown in for good measure. And for the Cardinals, Nootbaar 1 for 3 with the home run. And that was really it. Paul DeYoung, 2 for 3. He had a couple of singles. And that is really the story of the ball game. So Chicago wins this one. This is Precision Baseball. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber yet and you like what's going on here at this channel or with the Clark and Addison Gaming Company, then do give it a subscribe. Just click that button and you'll get notified of new videos whenever I post them. This game is still in production, but it's getting ever closer every day. Always adding a little bit of something here or there. And I've got testers out there playing games, and what I'm really looking for is someone to play 10 to 20 games with the demo teams that I have. And you'll, starting at A with the Arizona Diamondbacks, you'll get all the way down to the Guardians, so Cleveland. So you get all the A, B's, and C's in Major League Baseball, and it's 8 teams, including some really good teams. You get Arizona wasn't a really good team last year, but during the regular season, but obviously got hot in the playoffs. And the Braves are in there, Baltimore's in there, so you got 2 like top tier teams. Cleveland, Chicago, Cleveland, the Cubs, and Arizona. There's another one I'm missing. They're all kind of second level teams. They're right there. Chicago just missed the playoffs. Cleveland, I think, was in the playoffs or just slid in as a wild card or something like that. Arizona got in as a wild card. And then you have some, the White Sox are a cellar dweller. Cincinnati was okay, but not great. And then Boston, okay, but not great. So you have some teams that are kind of in the muddy middle, and then the White Sox. So you'll get access to all those teams. And then you can play to your heart's content. Just play as much as you want. You'll get the full teams. You get all the charts that you need in order to play. Like I said, I'll be updating with the ballparks and some of the other newer charts that I'll be finishing up hopefully today to be able to get those out as well. It'll have the highlight plays, it'll have everything you need. So the next version that you play will be a little bit more full than the ones before. So you can email me or you can join the Facebook group. That's the two ways to get the files for the game, for the demo. And would love to hear if you're playing the game. Would love to hear how it's going for you. Are there things that you're getting caught on that we can make smoother? Are there things that can be just generally improved with the game here or there? Are there some things that are feeling very unrealistic? Like I reworked the error chart, so those were not very realistic error numbers. We were getting, anywhere from 3 to 6 errors a game for both teams total, and it was just too many. So I've cut that down pretty good to where we're getting 1, 2, 3 errors a game, which is probably more typical with modern baseball. All right, I think that's it. I appreciate your support of me and this game and the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. We have football, basketball, and baseball that you can find at our website, clarkandaddisongaming.com. And just go there, check out what we got. The website is super easy to use. You can use any sort of debit or credit card. You can use PayPal for checkout. And so you'll get all the files delivered to you by PDF. There will be an email that comes to you with a link to download the files, but you'll also have the opportunity right there when you purchase to download the files straight to your device or to your computer and be able to get going immediately on any of these games. There's a free section where you can download several of the game guides if you just want to get a look at how the game plays. Look through this channel. There's lots of tutorials, especially for play action football, no huddle football. You'll learn how to play some of the baseball games as well. And if you look at, well, I won't say that, but if you go to the website, you can find some of the other games that I have produced, including On-Base Baseball, which is another, it's sort of if Appa and Strat got together and had a sabermetric baby. That's what On-Base Baseball would be, so I can put it that way. And it's the ease of play of a Stratomatic or an Appa, but it's based completely on sabermetrics and advanced stats. So if that's your thing, then give it a try. This game has a lot of sabermetrics and advanced stats built into it. You won't necessarily recognize it, but it's there for sure. So all of the base running, I've given it kind of a normalized name, but all of those values are straight off of a stat sheet. They're rounded up or down, but they are straight off of a stat sheet. So those are all sabermetric numbers for the fielding and base running. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.